The perfect payback. Alex Chen never thought of himself as special at Lincoln High. Half Vietnamese and half American with sharp eyes and a quiet demeanor. He excelled at digital art and maintained straight A's in science. But in a school where athletes were gods, those skills didn't put him on the important list. Lincoln's football team had won the state championship 3 years running, and team captain Jason Miller and his crew held absolute power. They decided who mattered, who didn't, and no one dared challenge them. Alex just wanted to graduate quietly. He had plans for MIT on a STEM scholarship, far away from this small town forever. Just 2 more months until senior year ended. 2 more months. That was before the spring rally. "Hey, Chen," Jason called as Alex walked through the hallway. "I heard you're good with design. The team needs someone to create banners for the big game." Alex stopped, surprised. Jason Miller had never spoken to him before. "Really?" he asked, unable to hide his skepticism. "Of course," Jason said, flashing his famous charming smile. "We need your help." Totally serious. Standing beside Jason were Ryan, Tyler, and Caleb, other football stars. They nodded in agreement. "Okay," Alex said, still hesitant. "What do you need me to design?" Jason explained they needed a large banner for the final game, and they wanted it to be spectacular. He invited Alex to come to the gym after school to get started. Alex agreed, feeling a glimmer of hope. Maybe these guys weren't as bad as he thought. Maybe they finally saw his value. He was wrong. When Alex arrived at the gym, it appeared empty, or so he thought. He set down his bag and took out his design tablet. Suddenly, the gym lights went out. Laughter echoed from the bleachers. "Grab him." Hands seized Alex's arms. He struggled, but there were too many of them. He felt himself being dragged to center court. The lights came back on. Alex found himself surrounded by the football team and cheerleaders. Jason stood before him, grinning. "Please, let me go," Alex pleaded. "No can do," Jason said. "This is the spring rally initiation ritual." Ryan held up a bucket full of paint. Cheap paint, sticky and difficult to wash off. "No," Alex cried out, but it was too late. They dumped the paint over him, from head to toe, red and blue, school colors, running down his body. The laughter grew louder. Someone was filming. Alex knew that within minutes, this would be posted on Instagram, TikTok, and every other social platform. "Look," Caleb shouted. "He's turned into a piece of art." Tears stung Alex's eyes, but he wouldn't let them see him cry. He tried to leave, but the paint made the floor slippery, and he fell. The laughter erupted again. Finally, after what seemed like forever, a teacher passing by heard the commotion. When he stepped in, the crowd quickly dispersed, leaving Alex alone, soaked and humiliated. The video spread quickly. #Chen the art project became the trending hashtag at school. Alex couldn't go anywhere without hearing snickers and whispers. He stayed home for 2 days. When he returned, he found someone had spray painted his locker with "artist" and dripping paint marks all around it. That night, lying in bed, hearing the endless notifications from his phone, more comments on the video, more mockery, Alex made a decision. He would not let this slide. Jason Miller and the football team would pay. Not with fists or words, but with intelligence and patience. It was time to make a plan. Alex began with research. If he wanted to take down Jason and his crew, he needed to know everything about them. And since they considered him invisible, he could observe without being noticed. He created a large board in his bedroom, noting habits, preferences, and especially weaknesses. He tracked their schedules, communication methods, and most importantly, the rules they regularly broke. Jason and the other players drink before every big game, violation of team policy. He wrote, they use coach's locker room for secret meetings when he's not around. Ryan sells stolen test answers to other players. Alex knew information was power, but he needed more. He needed a plan, a perfect plan that would make them pay without getting himself hurt. The opportunity came after 2 weeks of patient observation. Alex was sitting in the library when he overheard Jason and Ryan talking at the next bookshelf. Coach Thomas would kill us if he knew. Ryan said. He won't find out, Jason replied. Besides, it's tradition. Every year before finals, we steal test questions from a teacher. This year it's Pierce's turn. But he always takes his laptop home. Ryan objected. Not on Wednesdays. He has yoga class after school and leaves his laptop in his office. I've been watching. Jason laughed. I'll copy the final chemistry exam. And the whole team will get A's. We need those grades to stay eligible. Alex took a deep breath. This was his opportunity. But he needed to act carefully. Over the next few days, he planned meticulously, considering every detail. If Jason was going to steal the test, he would let him do it, but he would ensure he got caught. On Wednesday, Alex arrived at school earlier than usual. He placed a small camera borrowed from the film club in Mr. Pierce's room, hidden behind a stack of books. The camera was set to activate by motion and would stream the footage directly to his phone. He also sent an anonymous email to Coach Thomas, known for his zero-tolerance policy on cheating, suggesting that some of his players might be planning to steal a test. He didn't mention names, just said it would happen Wednesday afternoon in Pierce's room. Then, he waited. When the final bell rang, Alex hid in the bathroom near Mr. Pierce's room. His phone was ready, displaying the feed from the hidden camera. Right on schedule, Mr. Pierce left, carrying his yoga bag but leaving his laptop on the desk. A few minutes later, Jason sneaked into the room, looking around carefully before heading straight for the laptop. Alex smiled as he watched him open the laptop and start searching through files. He had known Pierce's password for ages. It was his daughter's birthday, which he used for everything. Jason found the test file and connected a USB drive. Alex could see the smug smile on his face as he copied the file. At that moment, Alex sent a text to Coach Thomas. Now. Pierce's room. Just 1 minute later, Coach Thomas appeared at the door, catching Jason red-handed with the USB still plugged in and the test file open on screen. Alex didn't need to witness the rest. He knew what would happen. He quietly left, the camera automatically shutting down and erasing its data as programmed. The next day, the school was buzzing. Jason Miller, captain of the football team, had been suspended. Not only that, but he was banned from the championship game. Along with him, Ryan and 2 other players were suspended for involvement in organized cheating. Without Jason and other key players, Lincoln's football team lost the championship with an embarrassing score of 28-3. Jason and his crew lost not only their positions on the team but their reputation. Several colleges withdrew scholarship offers. Suddenly, Lincoln's brightest stars had fallen. 2 weeks after the incident, Alex was sitting alone in the cafeteria when Jason approached his table. He no longer carried his former confidence. His broad shoulders now looked slumped, and his face reflected exhaustion. I know it was you, he said, his voice low but clear. Alex looked up, keeping his face calm. I don't know what you mean. Don't pretend, Jason said. You set it all up. An anonymous email? The camera? Perfect timing? I'm not as stupid as you think. Chen. Alex shrugged. Like you told me, it was just a prank. Right? Why can't you take it? You ruined my future, Jason said, his voice shaking with anger. No, Alex replied, his voice cool but firm. You ruined it yourself. I just made sure you were held accountable. Jason stared at him, then finally nodded. You know what, Chen? You might have won this round. But it doesn't make you any better than us. As Jason walked away, Alex felt a hollow sense of victory. He had regained respect, but at what cost? Was this what he really wanted? In the remaining weeks of school, Alex found himself receiving newfound respect from classmates. The story of how he toppled Jason's empire had spread, though no one could prove it. Some feared him, some admired him, but no one saw him as invisible anymore. On the last day of school, Alex stood in front of his locker, removing photos and decorations. The word artist was still there, though faded. He touched it, reflective. Maybe they were right. He was an artist, not with paint and brushes, but with patience and intelligence. He had created a masterpiece of perfect revenge. But as Alex left Lincoln High for the last time, he wondered if the masterpiece had been worth it. He had learned a valuable lesson about power and consequences, and about the cost of becoming what you hate. In his letter from MIT, they had accepted him with a full scholarship. A new future awaited. As he walked out through the school gates, Alex decided to leave everything behind, the pain, the anger, and the bitter victory. It was time to start fresh. With a new lesson in his heart. True power isn't in taking others down, but in rising above.